Hello and welcome to another Painkiller game session. Playing Heroes of the Storm.
Prepare for battle, mortals.
Got my go-to character, Azmodan.
Scary looking.
I do have to say, Azmodan is not as good of a character to play than he was. I haven't played this game in a few months, and they definitely changed up his abilities that are more time-based than they were. All of his abilities have a burnout rate, which makes it really difficult to take a player on head-on, whereas before, you know, you could use All Shall Burn for the entire duration of stamina that you had, which made it really great for going into the enemy base territory and just unloading, taking down the the base tower, pretty much all using All Shall Burn, which was really sweet. Certain situations you couldn't use it, but it was always good to have. They slow down the dunks. Can't dunk as fast anymore. But I still have to say, I like the concept of Azmodan, and still enjoy playing the character, even though it is not quite as good as he used to be. Still fun to play. These guys are super intense right now. It's going to be an interesting match. Hit and run or aggressive tactics could be interesting later in the match. So I am using a RX 5700 XT with the Ryzen 3800X. It's been a pretty good build so far. The frame rate is probably the best part, coming from a RX 480 on an FX 8350 8-core processor that I had for a couple years. Definitely felt like it was time to upgrade. Definitely recommend anybody who wants to upgrade their PC this processor. There's, cheaper, slightly cheaper alternatives. 3700X is lower base clock by not even that much, and it's supposed to use quite a bit less power, but a lot of other videos that I've seen, the 3800X doesn't even break 65 watts while gaming, and that's pretty impressive because it was rated at 105. The 3700 is rated at 65, so to see it not even break 65 watts is pretty surprising. But I mean, gaming is kind of a load. I don't know, like, depending on what you're doing, it could break past that, but at least in the video I saw, it wasn't using any more than that, which I guess is a good thing, because I'm using an A320 board. There's only a 4-slot power input for the CPU, so the fact that I'm running a 3800X on an A320 board is actually almost kind of hilarious. But there was a firmware update that came out that had support for the Ryzen 3rd gen processors about 2 weeks. Maybe not even 2 weeks. I think it was actually a few days before I put this build together. So, fully supported. I had an APU in it before, but that was just nowhere near powerful enough. It wasn't even a Ryzen. It was an Athlon APU with the AM4 socket. So focus on this game a little bit more. It's close right now, but at any moment it could definitely take a turn. A lot of chaos going on right now. Oh ho ho. Dunked him. That's good stuff right there. See how much damage we can do with this thing rolling through. Now, as for the monitor that I'm playing on, it's not a high refresh rate monitor, but does have a really low input latency, probably the lowest input latency I think still to date. Refresh rate, or not refresh rate, it's a 60 Hertz monitor, that's the refresh rate of it. It says that it can support up to 70, but oh man, almost lost connection there. Says that it'll support up to 70 Hertz, but it's a 60 Hertz panel. I don't know why it would see that. At least on the last computer I had, that's what it saw that it can handle up to, but I don't think it can actually go up to 70. It would be cool though, but 60 Hertz monitor. It's got a 5 millisecond pixel response, which is different than input lag. A lot of people think that your input latency, or you know, your overall latency, you know, is that number that you see on the box. You know, you'll see it 1 millisecond. You'll see on like the high-end Asus monitors. I had the VG248QE for a while, and it's overclockable to 144 Hertz. You know, the input lag is, I think, about 3 or 4 milliseconds, which is really good. You really want anything under 5 milliseconds for real competitive gaming. Some of your larger TVs and stuff will definitely be up higher, but the monitor that I have is it's an ASO FS2434. It's discontinued, so good luck trying to find one. But it's definitely a monitor that I would definitely never give away. Like, I could get a new monitor, you know, with the high refresh rate, and the high refresh rate looks nice, you know, especially the jump up to 75 Hertz, but, you know, the input latency of this thing, I think it says on the website it's like 0.05 frames, which I don't even know what that really translates to, but it's well under 1 millisecond of input latency. So if you've ever played on an old school TV, an old school CRT with the analog, you know, output or input into your old school TV, and it felt super tight, that's basically what it's like playing on this monitor. You know, the amount of control that you have, it's real tight. So I definitely like this monitor a lot. Drop one of these right there. Man, there's a lot going on right here. I haven't seen this game drop into the 90s in a while. I'm playing on high presets right now. Was playing on the ultra or the extreme profile, but was doing a little bit of research and whatnot, and I found out that the high setting was actually the best for gaming. The ultra preset was, you know, basically all just like anti-aliasing type stuff and whatnot, which I don't really care for. You know, if I can lower latency, you know, at the cost of some additional GPU load, then, you know, I'm all for it. But I'm definitely happy with the RX 5700 XT. I think it was definitely a worthy upgrade coming from the RX 480. Everything else, just the percentage increase in performance, just didn't seem like it was worth it to put the money into it. But this thing went on sale day before Cyber Monday, and I was like, yep, I think it's about time I get a new GPU. So when I got this build, originally I was using the RX 480, and you know, with the new build and everything, of course the CPU's faster, you know, the RAM and everything is faster, but it's just like, still looks the same. You know, it'd be nice to really have a graphics card that I could just, you know, get off the leash, just release the full potential of, you know, the system that I'm, you know, that I have, and get some serious frames, you know. So I think it was definitely worth it. Some issues with the latest drivers and whatnot, but went back to a older driver, and you know, all the problems I was having with the newer ones aren't happening. So, man, this is getting intense right here. Trying to make some moves. It's hard to take this thing out, man. I'm gonna go back here. I don't really know a lot of people who play this game, Heroes of the Storm, but I recommend it to them because it's free and it's a lot of fun to play. I didn't originally, you know, like the concept, you know, on paper, but having played it after a while, you kind of see what the gameplay is like, and it's definitely a lot of fun. I really enjoy it, and it's free. I mean, can't beat that. And let's see, I need to see if I can think of a strategy, see if I can be somewhere, see if I can get out of this bullshit. Wow, alright. Thought I was done for on that one, but I'll take it. Match is definitely becoming one-sided as it keeps going on. See if me and this teammate can try to do something down here. Seems like the enemy team's strategy is blunt force, come in all together, hot to trot. None of them have really split up since the start, so definitely a good tactic. See if anything can come about right here. And I am done. Brutal. Let's get some of this health right here.
A shrine gathers power. You will take it for me.
I do have to say though, a lot of people are bashing this card because it's not really, you know, it doesn't perform as great as a lot of the new high-end NVIDIA cards at 4K, but for a lot of people that are still gaming on 1080, you know, the RX 5700 XT is basically what the 1080 Ti was 2 years ago. So, you know, it's performing better than even a 2080 Ti at 1080p, I think. So, definitely a good choice for 1080p gaming at ultra settings, even though not really using ultra settings. When I first got it, I was just maxing every game. I was like, I'm able to just max this game out and play at well over 140, 150 frames. Battlefield 4, I'm maxing the frame rate of the game at 200, so Definitely really awesome. Alright, it's a little quiet now. What's the enemy team doing? This is a really long game, I'm not gonna lie. Normally it's a little bit shorter, but this one seems to be going on for a little bit longer than usual. I feel like this game could go into the half an hour range if it's at this point. We'll see. Yeah, we need to do something, man.
Freeze the Angel's forces and shatter them!
Yeah, go over there. Farther away. Oh, oh man, I need to get out of here. Got no health. Didn't even realize. Oh, it's a nice fountain. Fountain of youth right here. And it seems like this game is super intense right now. I have not seen the frame rate drop into the 90s on this game since I got it, so at least with the new card. Oh, look at this thing.
No! Our Punisher has been slaughtered!
Take out this real quick. These guys are going down there. Alright, I feel like there's some better teamwork going on right now. I feel like we're just kind of doing our own thing, but just on the last couple minutes, I think we're definitely got a good little system going here. Hopefully we can come back. It's closer now than it was. Enemy team's down here. We can just hold off. Damn, hold off this position. Thinking I should wait to hold on to this right here, or I could drop it behind them. Why not? Start doing damage before they even come over to this side. Yeah. Over here. See if we can do some serious damage over here. Nice. Man, we got 3 enemies down right now. Definitely the time to make some moves. What's over here? Oh, sweet. Well, got about 30 seconds for this one. Might as well hold it off. Oh, shoot. Looks like we got some enemies trying to devise a little bit of a plan here. What are they trying to do? Oh, brutal. Just throw this down. Oh, brutal. And annihilating. Annihilation. What's this guy gonna do? Where's he going? Oh, he dodged it. He barely dodged it. Oh, that would have been nice. Sweet. Look at that, we're ahead now. Oh man, this is the time to make moves. Need to take out this base before they spawn again. Yo, it is done. Absolutely donezo. Let me just drop this down. Might not even need that. Start. Dang. Brutal. I'll take it. Not too bad of a game.
Epic.
So anyway, like I was saying, anybody who wants to upgrade their PC or whatnot, definitely recommend the RX 5700. If you can't get it, you know, quite now, I wouldn't settle for anything. You know, the NVIDIA supercards are, you know, not saying they're bad, but, you know, definitely, you know, try to save up for a 2070 or 2080, you know, even maybe a 2060. You know, those supercards are just not going to give you the performance, you know, the same type of performance, you know. The 1660s kind of comparable to the 5700, but I just think the 5700 is a better card for, you know, textures, you know, even better than the 2080 Ti as far as the benchmark show. But, you know, anyway, that is it for this one. 22 kills, no deaths. That's a good one.